Once again, a very good afternoon. Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us here on CTV Sports. And, of course, for everybody here at the field at Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 1. Great to have you with us. We are about to start our second match of the afternoon, the Casablanca Spring Challenge. If you've just missed the opening match of that, well, what a cracking game we have just seen here on field number 1 at Grand Champions Polo Club. And the Maltese Falcons taking care of business, beating Grand Champions convincingly by 9-7. Up next, our avatar in the blue shirts. Let me quickly give you a rundown of who's who out there. Ryan Cronin at number 1. Jason Crowder with a completely different look. You might be used to having seen his lovely long golden locks. Well, they are no more. He's the man with the short hair, number 2. At number 3, the man from the Great White North, Mr. Fred Mannix. Great to have him back here at Grand Champions Polo Club, one of our WPL superstars. And then, of course, another one of the World Polo League's great stars, Alejandro Novillo Estrada. They are avatar, and they, as I say, are in blue. Mexico, well, it's a Mexican-Argentine combination. Slight little change to the run-up. At number 1, we have Andreas Gonzalez. At number 2, Santos, a.k.a. Tato Bellini, playing at number 2. At number 3, Carlitos Gracida. He, of course, a Mexican, as is Andreas Gonzalez. And at number 4, we have the legend that is Juan Bellini, playing the number 4 position, and they are in purple. Your mounted official, once again, Gaston Dorignac, about to get this second match underway. And this, of course, also a semi-final, if you will, as the winner of this game will, of course, be facing off against the Maltese Falcons, who, after their win here just about 15 minutes ago, have secured their place in Sunday's final. Ball's in play, and let's see who gets off to the better start. It'll be Mr. Mannix here, who normally we see playing the number 4 position. Today, playing the number 3 position. He does like to rotate, but is, of course, one of the best defenders in the game. And as you can see, why right here, taking care of business, making sure that that ball gets enough distance between him and his own goal mouth. And as I say, he does like working that rotation. Mannix taking a player with him. Still Mannix. Ball's still just, but only just in play. As now Mexico not able to pick up this broken play. The shot on goal. Let's see if they can put this one away. It's cleared. Mexico just getting a piece of it. And that was Juan Bellini trying to play that ball up to Carlitos Gracida. And now Alejandro, I beg your pardon, that's the number 1. That's Andreas. Similar colour helmet, so don't be confused. Similar looking helmet between Alejandro Novillo Estrada and Andreas Gonzalez. Nice little pick up on the near side. Again, by Mexico. Nicely done. Nice bit of stick work here. Now, this is Alejandro Novillo Estrada. with the slightly Bordeaux coloured helmet. Gets a challenge there from Santos Bellini. Bellini not able to take on the 7-goaler. In comes Gracida. Bellini sticking with his man. Good play. And in comes, or left behind now for Crowder. First touch for Crowder. Gracida with a nice long ball into no man's land, but only as far as Mr. Mannix. And Fred will send it, return to sender. Looking there, trying to find his number 4. There's an appeal. Umpire says play on. It was all relative to the speed and the space given. And now Juan Bellini. In comes Alejandro. Picks it up on the near side from the boards. Nicely done. Little backhand flick. And that's a perfect pickup now here by Mr. Mannix. Had he only picked it up across the field. And in comes Cronin. Backs up nicely. Fred Mannix. Now he, as we know, very dangerous, and this is the reason why. Has he hit it on target? Let's see what the umpire's hand does. He puts his hand up. Cracking first goal by the man from the Great White North, Fred Mannix. Opens up the scoring here for Avatar. Super goal. Super goal here by Mannix, more or less from a standstill. It just stopped, looked at the target, took aim, and fired, and picks up the first goal here for Avatar. Remember, they're in blue, as Mexico in purple. 4:20 on the clock. Just waiting for one player who seems to have had a attack issue here on Team Mexico. It'll be the man with the number 1, Andreas Gonzalez. Just waiting for him to get back out onto the field. So, nice pace here in the opening phase of this first chukker. Coming back now onto the field. As I say, a very similar looking hat to that of Alejandro Navijo Estrada. On the halfway line, ball's thrown back into play. Mannix gets a piece of it. So does Bellini. Still all happening on the halfway line. Nice little backhand shot there from Ryan Cronin. Or I should say Alejandro Navijo Estrada trying to pick up that play. Again, Ryan Cronin. Very strong off 1 goals. Was telling me before the game how much he loves playing at Grand Champions Polo Club. Always striving to do better than before, and of course for a 1-goal player to play alongside some of these world-class polo players is of course a very important notch in the belt of experience. Yeah, a little bit cheeky that play there, a bit of reaching is the call. Good call, and that will take us to our first courtesy change. Stay with us, we'll have a very short break. We'll be right back for the remaining 3:28 here in the opening chukker. All right, then, here we go. Players are making their way back out on the field. The entire Avatar team. Let me just quickly give you a rundown of who's who. There in the blue shirts, Ryan Cronin at number 1, playing off 1 goal. Then Jason Crowder with a new spring look that he's bringing us this afternoon. At number 3, Fred Mannix, the man who scored so far, the only man to have scored, and then Alejandro Navijo Estrada playing the role of the defender. That, as I said, in blue is Team Avatar, and then in purple, Mexico, with a little bit of an Argentine twist to it. At number 1, Andreas Gonzalez. At number 2, Santos Bellini. At number 3, Carlitos Gracida. And at number 4, Juan Bellini. So always nice to see father and son playing alongside each other. Your mandated official, Gaston Dorignac. And as I say, he's just joined us. Just the 1 goal so far on the account of Avatar, courtesy of Mr. Fred Mannix. So let's see how Mexico will respond. Nothing really yet to write home about, just that 1 goal. Still plenty of polo, plenty of time to turn things around here. Remember, we play 6 chukkers, and just another reminder that, of course, the final of this Casablanca Spring Challenge will be taking place here at Grand Champions Polo Club on US Open Polo Sunday. This Sunday at 10 o'clock. We'll have the final, followed by the subsidiary final, and then, of course, the prize presentation. Would be lovely to see you down here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Now then, Alejandro Navijo Estrada working that ball, gets a little bit of traffic, and put in his place there. Not able to finish what he started, but a very nice run by the defender. Ball went out of bounds, so Mexico have it. Knock-in coming. And notice how Avatar are standing relatively deep here, wanting to force Mexico to an error. Bellini. And that's only going to go as far as Mr. Mannix, or will it? Gracida. Carlitos. Very quick there and very reactive, the way his pony immediately got him to where he wanted to be. Just needs to get past Mr. Crowder. Crowder just biding his time. Clever little play here from the Mexican. Carlitos Gracida. Still Gracida on the rebound. And that's going to slightly go out to the far post. But a very nice effort here. The first real shot on goal worth mentioning by Mexico, by Carlitos Gracida. Just not hitting the target. Knock-in coming. Massive shot here by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. I think he was looking for Crowder. Ball didn't quite go the distance. Mannix now in a little medley there with Gracida. Goes to the under the neck shot. That ball has got eyes, as my dear friend Dell would say. Just not open wide enough. Picked up again by Alejandro Navijo Estrada over on the far side. Let's see if he can get a little bit of space and send that ball a bit further upfield. Looks like we had a change of possession, ball going out of bounds. So Mexico will get the benefit of the doubt as we approach the 1 minute mark remaining here in the opening chukka. Bellini. Nice little shot from the wrist in front of goal, and surely no mistake for the number 3, Carlitos, I believe. Was that Carlitos? I'll just wait for verification. Or was that Santos? Santos Bellini. We do apologise. We have the sun setting, of course, here. We've had the bell, and that will bring us to the end of the first chukka. So Santos Bellini picks up the equaliser. It's a goal apiece. We're going to have a very short break. Stay with us. We'll be right back here for chukka number 2. Back once again, and a warm welcome, a very good afternoon as the sun is starting to set here on field number 1 at the home of champions, Grand Champions Polo Club. Second match of the day, the back-to-back doubleheader, if you will, the Casablanca Spring Challenge. The Maltese Falcons already securing their place in Sunday morning's final, taking on Grand Champions earlier on this afternoon. And now it's Avatar in the blue shirts against Mexico in the purple shirts. It's a goal apiece. We had a goal in the opening chucker by Mr. Fred Mannix and one from Santos Bellini, making it a goal apiece. But we still have 5 exciting chuckers ahead. So let's see who will get the upper hand at some point or part of this game. And as I said, always very nice to see father and son playing together. Santos and Juan Bellini playing together here for Team Mexico. Slight change to the lineup as maybe on your schedule. Suffice to say, all of them, of course, from South America. So here we go. A goal apiece as Gaston Dorignac, our mounted official, will throw that ball back into play. And the man who scored for Mexico picks up the ball from the throw-in, but Mr. Mannix, Fred Mannix there with a powerful near-side backhander, trying to find Mr. Crowder. And once again, Avatar on the move. Little chip shot over to the left-hand side, didn't quite go as planned. So Mexico have it, told to leave it there by the number 1, Andreas Gonzalez. Juan Bellini said, I'm in a better position, make way, and I shall send that ball down towards that south end of the field. And the open backhand, nicely executed by Cressida. Back to Bellini, stolen by Mannix. In comes the under the neck shot, nicely done. Looking for Alejandro Navijo Estrada, but he's got Carlitos Cressida. Here comes the very nice pass up to the number 1, looking for Ryan Cronin. Nice defense, very nicely played, but plenty of room here for Alejandro to pick up this ball. He's probably going to try and run this one himself. Just needs to get past Juan Bellini. Still Alejandro Navijo. The ball's in front of that goal mouth, and a little flick of the wrist from the number 2, Mr. Jason Crowder. And that's what a new haircut will do to you. Picks up his first goal of the afternoon, making it 2-1. Avatar take the lead early on here in chucker number 2. Now, if you're watching the earlier broadcast, you might have remembered, or you might have picked up on the fact that we also have our PTF, Polo Training Foundation, a very important and a very special event happening here at Grand Champions Polo Club, or not actually at Grand Champions Polo Club. We are just facilitating it. It's going to be tomorrow, the PTF, the Jimmer Newman Memorial, and that'll be taking place at 11 o'clock over at Coca-Cola. So come and join us for that to see the Polo Stars of tomorrow take centre stage as part and parcel of the PTF, which of course is very dear to us here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Nice ball from Alejandro Navijo Estrada, but only as far as Juan Bellini. He'll stop and turn, and he'll be looking possibly to his son Santos, and I think that was the intention. Nice little near side backhander played by Ryan Cronin, and he's teed it up enough for Alejandro Navijo Estrada to take this one for a nice little stroll. Alejandro Navijo Estrada working that rotation, and that is goal number 3 for Avatar, who are slowly but surely starting to run away with things here. Mexico not quite on par. 3-1, 4:17 on the clock. We might go for a slightly earlier than normal courtesy change, or maybe get another run in. Now the whistle, so a quick courtesy change, and we will have a very short break. And remember, the courtesy change is something that the players do not have to take, hence the word courtesy. It's at their own peril if they'd like to go and change a pony, but I'm sure you'd agree with me, at the pace that they've been running up and down the field here, it makes a lot of sense. Also with, as I say, the weather having turned the way it has, very taxing on the ponies. So most of the players, I can see that Juan Bellini and his son Santos deciding to stay on the field. Right, well, here we go then. Players are coming back out onto the field. Still have a little over 4 minutes remaining here in the second of our 6 chukkers. And at the moment, Avatar, after a goal apiece in the first chukker, here in chukker number 2, Avatar showing signs of being the team that very quickly found its rhythm. We saw a goal by Jason Crowder and Alejandro Navijo Estrada thus far in the second chukker, but we still have, as I say, a little over 4 minutes remaining. Chance here for Mexico to regroup. They line up on the halfway line and away we go. Ball's back in play. Let's see if Mexico can win this throw-in. It'll be Mr. Crowder. Slight little deflection there. Crowder will get a second chance. There comes the under the neck. Did not make contact. Little unlucky there for Gonzalez, but Bellini will send Gonzalez on his way. Looks over his shoulder. And very quickly, Jason Crowder just shows how well he is mounted here this afternoon. How that pony caught up with the Mexican Andreas Gonzalez. Very nicely done there by Mr. Crowder. And he will leave that one behind. Mannix playing his favourite position, the number 4. Today wearing the number 3, but we've seen him work that rotation. Ball went out of bounds, so a change of possession. It'll be Juan Bellini. We all know how dangerous Juan Bellini can be on a good day. Let's see if he can make a dent on the scoreboard here. It needs to get past Ryan Cronin first. Little under the neck shot once again. Not quite getting the distance. There's the open backhand. And that ball will just stay within the boundary as Senor Carlitos Gracida finds himself in the perfect position to pick up his first goal of the afternoon. And that brings it down to just a 1-goal game. So, with a little over 2 minutes remaining here in chukker number 2, Mexico get a little break. And the execution there by Carlitos Gracida, superb. 3-2, still in favour of Avatar, who won the throw-in once again. On the near side. Nicely done by Cronin. Sticking with his man. Well played, Ryan. Yeah, trying to weave his way through there. He had Crowder coming in. Crowder will now pick this one up on the near side. He tried to put it in one shot. It's cleared. And Mexico have it. And that'll be Andreas Gonzalez. Gets a hard bump. Nicely ridden off here. Everything above board here. Little under the neck shot. And then the finishing touch, if you can get a piece of it, Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Whistle stops the play. We might have a tack issue over on the far side. Let's see what... or did that ball go over the back line? As I say, we're playing into the sun, so we do apologise if we can't see every single play. Just waiting to see if I can pick up some kind of an indicator there from the umpire. It looks like it's going to be a standard knock-in for Team Mexico. Maybe there was a bit of debris. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, a little bit of debris on the field. Of course, could be hazardous, which again is something that the umpire needs to keep a watchful eye out for. Anything that shouldn't be on the polo field must, of course, immediately be removed. So, hence the good call here, just to stop play. And as I say, knock-in coming for Team Mexico. And the man to do the honours with the number 4 on his shirt, Juan Bolini. That didn't quite go the distance. Nicely turned around by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Might decide to have a crack at running this one himself. Well played. And that's the Mexican, Carlitos Cressida. Gets out on top. There's a lot of space here on the right side. He's found Santos. Santos needs a little bit of help. Tried to tee it up nicely. Crowder steals it, and here we go. We've had the first horn. Crowder. And he's got Alejandro in the pocket right behind him. He'll take care of Bellini to allow Crowder all the space and all the time. He's got plenty of time, over 10 seconds. And that should be, and it will be, goal number 2 for Jason Crowder. And that'll bring us to the end of Chukka number 2. So 4 goals to 2 in favour of Avatar. Stay with us. We'll be right back for Chukka number 3. So here we go then. Welcome back, everybody. Chukka number 3. Chukka number 3 about to start. Now a bit to the right. There you go, to the right. Just here we have another bit of debris. A bit more to the right. There you go. Yep. So one of our players from the first game being very kind just to get rid of some debris that's lying on the field. So, well, as I say, welcome back. 4 goals to 2 as it stands after 2 Chukkas played. This, of course, our second match of the Casablanca Spring Challenge 2026 here at Grand Champions Polo Club on field number 1. Avatar in the blue, picking up 3 goals in that last Chukka. Just the 1 goal courtesy of Carlitos Cressida in that second Chukka. At the moment, it's just not enough for Mexico. Avatar very much here, the driving force in this second semi-final. Remember, the final being played here at Grand Champions Polo Club Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. We'd love to see you down here. And if you can't make it, remember to tune into CTV Sports via YouTube. Here we go then. Mounted official Gaston Dorignac lines them up on the halfway line for our final chukker in the first half. Remember, we play 6 chukkers, 3 chukkers per half. And Mexico winning, at least momentarily, this initial throw-in. Mannix goes in for the challenge, left behind. In comes the man with the number 2 on his shirt. And that, of course, is Jason Crowder. Looking for and finding Alejandro Navijo Estrada. You could shoot from there. That's exactly what he's going to do. And that is how you get the job done. Bish, bash, bosh. Crowder and Alejandro, a very, very strong combo here this afternoon. As Alejandro picking up his second goal, making it an early 5-2 lead here in the third chukker with a good 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Back to the halfway line. Ball's back in play. And again, Mexico nearly winning that throw-in. Alejandro obviously trying to tee it up nicely here for Mannix. The backhand shot again from the young Mexican, Gresida. But Alejandro comes in very quickly. Takes the scenic route round the outside. A monster shot that's going to land literally where, very unlucky. Crowder would have loved to have had that. And, wow, what a finish there by Ryan Cronin. Unlucky for him that it just went wide. He went for the under the next shot. Very quick, Ryan Cronin. And I remember seeing him here last year. And compliments, hats off, chapeau, as they say. How he has improved his game, his positioning play, his anticipational play, and also his technical execution. Very, very strong. Open little backhand from Mannix. And this is exactly where that read is so important. Like here you see it from Mr. Crowder. And Mr. Crowder will slam that one away, picking up his third of the afternoon. A hat-trick now for Jason Crowder, making it 6-2. So looks like that haircut is definitely paying dividends here for Jason Crowder. 5-12, and within a matter of not even 2 minutes, 2 quick goals here for Avatar. Back to the halfway line they go. 5:01 on the clock. First touch. Gonzalez finds Bellini. Bellini will want to run with this one, but he's going to get shot down there by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Dangerous but very effective. Had timed it just right to play that backhand in front of his own goal mouth. Who's going to get to the ball first? Mannix just being beaten there, but only slightly. Once again by Gonzalez. Mannix sticking there to the Mexican. On the boards, still Fred. And that pass was intended to go all the way to Cronin. Didn't quite get there. Cronin is there. And clever play for not crossing that line. Gresida hammers that one into no man's land. Nobody really there. Bellini too far away. And the other Bellini being ridden off by the number 4, by Alejandro Navijo Estrada, who seems to be on fire this afternoon. Playing all over the place. Up at the front in attack, but also very much with his number 4 position, of course, or the number 4 in his shirt. Taking care of business, trying to keep the opposition at bay. Once again, Alejandro working it very well. And this could be the new attack here now for Avatar. As they cross the halfway line. Into the corner. An appeal there for turning on the ball. Umpire says play on. 3:08 on the clock. Crowder coming in for a piece of the action. In comes Gonzalez. Bellini not going to get to it. And that whistle will allow the players for another courtesy change. So 2:55 on the clock. And Avatar at the moment seem to have the Midas touch. They can do no wrong. So far in the lead here in this third chukka with 2-0. The overall score 6-2. Okay. Right, here we go then. 2:55 on the clock. And as I say, Avatar very much taking the lead here in this game. Controlling, dominating, and very much playing to plan, playing their strategy, making it nigh impossible here for Mexico to somehow find their rhythm. Avatar just getting on with the job at hand. And let's have a look at who's been responsible for scoring. We've had a hat-trick there by Jason Crowder, picking up 2 in the second, 1 in the third. And also Alejandro Navijo Estrada picking up 1 in the second and third. And Fred Mannix, of course, the man to score first in the opening chukka. So the boys are back out on the field, 6-2. A little under 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. So I'm pretty sure Mexico will have to go back to the drawing board and maybe bring out plan B, because at the moment plan A is not really going their way. The pass completion rate here for Avatar, very, very high. And the execution also a little under the next shot here from Fred Mannix. Unfortunately, on this occasion, not quite hitting the target. And as I said, he does like to do that rotation and make his way up to the front door, dragging as many defenders with him. Here we go. Mexico on the move. And this time it's Gracida bringing the ball back into play, something which for the first 2 chukkas was left down to Juan Bellini. He's on the ball now. Still Bellini. Let's see if he can get a little bit closer to that goal mouth. Still Juan Bellini. In comes Crowder for the challenge. And he's clearly done enough to make sure that that ball went nowhere near that danger zone. Keeping the back firmly shut, not allowing Mexico anywhere near the vicinity of that goal, trying to force them into an error to then capitalize on regaining possession of the ball to then launch a new counter offensive. Nicely done here by Gonzalez. Finds a little gap, but he's still got Crowder to deal with. And Crowder, once he gets his teeth into you, it's very hard to shake him off. Mannix with a nice, powerful under the neck shot. Unfortunately, nobody home to pick up that ball. Bellini needs to be careful here. Doesn't want to make any mistakes. Gets a little visit there from Ryan Cronin, who, as I say, is really, really impressed me the way he played. Well, not only last year, but the way he's playing this season. And that looked to me like a right-of-way infringement over on the far side. As I said, we've got the sun right in our eyes, so please do bear with us if we can't make the exact call. Umpire Gaston Dorignac a lot closer and a much better position to then therefore make the call, but it was a right-of-way infringement, and this will now be taken by Alejandro Navijo Estrada. Looking to try and find. Yep, and that was another right-of-way infringement. Now, what came first, the chicken or the egg, the horn or the whistle? Looks like we're going to have to wait and see. Players are leaving the field. We're going to have a very, very short break. That is the first half over. 6 goals to 2. So 2 unanswered goals by Mexico. They're going to have to tighten up on that if they want to turn this around. They're down by 4. Let's see if they can turn this around when we return for the second half of our second Casablanca semi-final Spring Challenge 2026.
Polo school is the funnest thing I've become involved with in the last year of my life.
Gave me the confidence to be able to play an event in beach polo, Miami Beach, and snow polo in Aspen.
Our dedicated instructors have years of polo experience and are CHA certified.
It's important to us to come back and have a really good experience.
Every time you leave the gates from the polo school, you're hungry for more.
So here we go then, everybody back on the field on fresh ponies. 7:30 on the clock. As you can see, chukker number 4 is about to start. We've had 3 chukkers played so far after what looked like a relatively balanced opening chukker there. Fred Mannix picking up a goal in the first, as did Santos Bellini with a very quick response. We thought it might continue in that vein, but that wasn't to be. Chukker number 2, Avatar picking up 3 goals, 2 by Jason Crowder, 1 by Alejandro Navijo Estrada, and just the 1 goal, and that was a lucky goal based on a broken play picked up by Colitas Cressida. So they left the field 4 goals to 2. And then in chukker number 3, no score by Mexico, and another couple of goals by Avatar. Once again, Jason Crowder and Alejandro Navijo Estrada hitting the target. So the half-time break, they left the field 6 goals to 2, and that of course is where we're going to continue. Just waiting for 1 or 2 more players to make their way back out onto the field. Quick reminder of what's happening tomorrow. Grand Champions Polo Club hosting the Jimmer Memorial, the PTF Jimmer Newman Memorial, beg your pardon. That's happening tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Chance for you to get to see who's in the making for the future of polo. As I said, that tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And then tomorrow afternoon, very much looking forward to the Governor's Cup. That'll be taking place here at 5 o'clock. Looking forward to that. Some of the elder statesmen gracing us with their presence. So, of course, if you can't be with us tomorrow afternoon, then CTV Sports is your go-to place where you can watch and see all the action tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, It is US Open final Sunday on Sunday, but things are going to kick off here at Grand Champions Polo Club at 10 o'clock in the morning. We have the final of the Casablanca Spring Challenge. The Maltese Falcons already securing their position or their spot in said final. And I'm sure they'll be watching very closely the developments of this game. And as it looks at the moment, the Maltese Falcons could be up against Avatar. Right, and I'm just being told there might be a substitution on the team of Mexico. So we'll verify that once we know that that really is the case and who that player is. At the moment, we are just on standby. So do please bear with us. Not sure if Bellini got a little knock or got a slight injury, why they've decided to make that call. Could also be the fact that they're down by 4 goals. We'll have to wait and see. So we have a little bit of an info coming up shortly. I can't read that. Can you just see what this is? Right, I can tell you now, I've just had confirmation, Colo Gonzalez, so Matias Gonzalez is coming in for Juan Bellini. So thank you very much, Steph, for the heads up on that. So Juan Bellini being substituted by Matias, who played in that opening game, also known as Colo Gonzalez. And let's see, and I'm pretty sure it will make a difference to Team Mexico. Coming in for Juan Bellini. Let's just hope he did not sustain any injury. And so that might just take a minute or two. He's already on the field. Thank you very much. So, Gonzalez already on the field. As I can hear the umpire calling play. So this could be an interesting turn of events here for Mexico. As Alejandro Navijo Estrada takes the hit from the spot. Trying to find Crowder, who's knocking on the door. And that ball just going out of bounds at the feet there of the substitution, Colo Gonzalez. So Mexico have possession, 7:04 on the clock. Here in Chukka number 4. Now, you don't want to make any silly mistakes here because Avatar will punish you all day long, especially if your name is Mr. Fred Mannix. So, that substitution not quite yet going to plan. Fred Mannix picking up his second goal of the afternoon and punishing Mexico here with a little bit of a fumble. And that makes it 7-2. So, clearly, Avatar sticking to their plan, to their game plan, sticking to their strategy and just getting on with the job at hand. Back to the halfway line they go. 6:24 on the clock. And let's see if Mexico can gain possession. That's the first step here. But Avatar are marking up very, very well, keeping the spaces very, very small and very, very tight. And again, a very nice pickup here by Ryan Cronin as he tries to take that ball around the outside of all the traffic. In comes Crowder, stops and checks. Let's Gonzalez override. Broken play. And now Colo Gonzalez. He will drag the team with him. Mannix going back. Bellini going back as well. Now then, there's a 2-man horse race. And Mannix just taking the pace out a little bit here. He's got the backup there, which he needed. Crowder tries to whip it, he does. And near side backhand, back to Mannix. And if he can pick this one up, that will be a great play. And he does. And away he goes. Mannix on his own slightly tops that ball, goes up into the sky, but he corrects himself. Well, that's what you do when your name is Fred Mannix. Over to the board, still Mannix on the near side. Nice pace. In comes the challenge. He knows he has to shoot. He does, but just wide. What a cracking play here by Avatar. Well done, Fred Mannix. The give and go. Well, that's why they call it Grand Champions. This is the birthplace of champions. So Mexico now have a lot of work to do. They're down by 5 goals. In comes the man substituting Juan Bellini. Gonzalez wants to take it around the outside. Immediately has a player on him. In comes Carlitos Gracida. A lot of space there over on the far side for him to work with. Gonzalez as well. And of course is Andreas Gonzalez, because we've now got 2 Gonzalez's out on the field. One from Argentina, one from Mexico. And this young man from Calgary, Canada, Mannix. Still Mannix up against Gonzalez Colo. Still Mannix just teasing Mexico here. Tries to untangle himself. Takes the shot. And that looks like another cracking goal here by Fred Mannix. His 3rd of the afternoon. They seem to have the Midas touch. They can do no wrong. 8 goals to 2 now for Avatar. And that whistle will send them off to a courtesy change. We'll have a little bit of music. And we'll be right back in about 45 seconds. Okay, so here we go then. Everybody back on the field. Well, despite the substitution there, Carlo Gonzalez not yet quite slotting in and finding the rhythm, or trying to create the rhythm that Mexico need in order for them to play their game. Avatar seem to have a remedy for any kind of attack or anything that resembles an attack from Mexico. 2 goals by Fred Mannix here in the 4th chukker. We have 2 more, of course, coming thereafter. And Colo Gonzalez picking up a much-needed goal here for Team Mexico. And that's the first time, it seems, in a long time that they've actually hit the target. But they still have a lot of work to do. They're down by 5 goals, 8 goals to 3. And the clock, of course, ticking down. 2:43 on the clock. Ball's back in play. And let's see if they can win another throw-in. But wasn't to be on this occasion. It's Avatar and Alejandro Navijo Estrada on that grey pony, which has served him so well. There's a little bit of a challenger there in the form of Andreas Gonzalez. Goes straight across the field, a little under the next shot. Now then, this is the man in for Juan Bellini. He's definitely got the right of way. Mannix knows it. Monster shot. Still Gonzalez, and he'll take the man first. And Mannix will send it back on the near side. Nicely done. Cronin checks. Allowed Crowder to pick that one up and send Alejandro Navijo Estrada on his way. Alejandro now round the outside. Still Alejandro. Left behind for Carlitos Gracida. Crowder comes in for the challenge. Again, it's just not working. It's not going their way today. Well, you have those days where you can try and try. It just doesn't want to go your way. Alejandro, on the other hand, just getting on with the job at hand again here. Nice little hook. Will he go for the under the neck or the backhand? He's going to go for the under the neck. And that looked like another goal to me. Wow, what a cracking goal here by Alejandro Novillo Estrada, now also with a hat-trick to his name. So 9 goals to 3. I'm pretty sure with 2 more chukkers remaining to be played, they will go into double figures. So the Maltese Falcons can get ready, mentally at least, and prepared for what will be a thrilling final on Sunday morning, unless, of course, Mexico somehow can flick a switch and turn this around. But it's looking like it's the Avatar show all the way. Left behind. Nice little backhand again there from Cronin. And there is the first horn. 30 seconds remain. Well played, Cronin. Well done, Ryan. Just biding his time. Allowing Crowder to send that one up the rotation again, working seamlessly here for Avatar. Nice little open backhand there from Gonzalez. Down to the last few seconds of play, but they haven't contained it. They have not contained it. You don't want to be giving these sort of opportunities away. And there is goal number 10 for the team in blue, for Team Avatar. Well, what a way to finish the 4th chukka. Alejandro Novillo Estrada not only picking up an overall hat-trick, now a hat-trick in chukka number 4. So well done, Alejandro. We're going to have a very short break. 2 more chukkers waiting for you to enjoy with us here on CTV Sports. Before they doubled up, scoring 4 goals to just that 1 from Colo Gonzalez in the 4th, leaving the field with a scoreline reading 10 goals to 3. Let's see, like I said, if they can turn that around in the remaining 2 chukkers. All to play for, but as I say, it's very much going in the way of Team Avatar, who at the moment seem to be able to do no wrong. Just waiting for the umpire to release the ball into play. The sun is starting to really set, so please do bear with us. I think you're doing a great job. Here we go. Ball is back in play. Now then, once again, Avatar winning the throw-in, and that is so important, especially at this level of the game. In comes the man with the number 1 there, Ryan Cronin, who takes his polo very, very seriously, always striving to get better than he was in the previous chukka. And we have a whistle, an early whistle. here at the top of Chukka number 5. Doesn't seem to be any kind of complaining. Umpire Gaston Dorignac being as lenient and as forgiving as he can to keep the pace, which I think is fair to say has been exceptionally high this afternoon. Advantage given with a hit from the spot, a 5A for Mexico. Cressida. I haven't really seen as much of him as we would have hoped. Carlitos Cressida, of course, a very, very strong player. Santos Bellini tries to finish and get that ball between the uprights, just wide. So unfortunately, again, yeah, players of belief that the ball was actually good, but it was definitely wide. Well, this is what I'm saying with the sun setting. Of course, even the players now not quite sure whether that ball had actually gone through or not. But that's where we have our drone specialist, Austin. And those images, of course, don't lie. All broken play. And on the move once again with 2 attacking players. And Alejandro Navijo Estrada, well, you won't need to send him an invitation. He will take this one and run it. He can clearly do no wrong. Look at that, que golazo. Alejandro Navijo Estrada picks up the first goal here in Chukka number 4. 5, beg your pardon, Chukka number 5. Picking up a hat-trick in that last Chukka. Absolutely on fire here this afternoon. And that makes it 11 goals to 3 now in favour of Avatar. Ball's back in play. Well, at least Team Mexico are doing everything they can, and they're still fighting. And they're fighting against a very well-mounted and a very well-organised team here. It's been quite a while since they actually got within the vicinity of that goal mouth. In comes Mannix. Reseda and Mannix battling it out on the back line there. Broken play. Colo Gonzalez will pick this one up. He's got the space, turns on the inside, tries to beat Alejandro. He gets the support. Nicely done. This is good play. This is the way they should have been playing all along. Again, trying to inch their way ever so close, but they shut them down. They take them out. The under the neck attempt. Wide. Well, and again, those words, which I'm sure you've heard being mentioned by Dale Schwetz many a time, you know, defense wins championships. Well, that's exactly what seems to be the case here. Nice little pick up. Mexico on the move again with Andres Gonzalez. But just that last 3-4-5% to get the ball within the vicinity of that goal mouth to take that shot is what evades them. And look at this, another broken play. Avatar on the move. Gonzalez trying to keep some calm, and looks like we had another right-of-way infringement here coming across the lesser angle. Let's have a look at the clock. 3:33. Might just send them off for a courtesy change. Yeah, and that was the whistle. I do stand corrected. I thought it might have been. It looked a little bit borderline. So we're going to have courtesy change, number 5. And we will be back in just a few moments for the remaining 3:33 here in the penultimate 5th Chukka. Right, here we go then. Very quickly, the boys are back out on the field. We have, as I say, 3:33 remaining to be played. Now, my money is on Avatar definitely getting a dozen. They're one away from that. They've scored 11 goals. And so far, Alejandro Navijo Estrada is definitely the man of the match, picking up a total of 6 goals, a hat-trick alone in Chukka number 4. But there was, so I have to correct my correction, there was a right-of-way infringement. I did think I saw that correctly, and a courtesy change. And the first time we've actually seen a penalty from the line, an open goal, penalty 3. So 40 yards, and let's hope that this will go through. It certainly does. So Mexico pick up a much needed and a very important goal from the penalty line. But with 3:18 left on the clock here in the penultimate Chukka, I'm not sure that's going to be enough. But it's definitely a big step in the right direction. So Carlitos Gracida, well, I'm sure as the captain, be urging and egging his team on to give a little bit more. Gonzalez, this time it's Andreas Gonzalez trying to get a little bit closer towards that goal mouth. Now the other Gonzalez, Matias, opens his shoulders, takes a shot, and puts it wide. Oh, didn't even touch the ball, missed the ball completely. But they still seem to be in possession. Crowder comes in for a challenge. Again, they're knocking on the door. And that did go through. We'll just have to wait and see who actually got that final touch. Well, again, as I said, the sun there just being a little bit awkward. To me, it looked like it was Gonzalez. So, as it stands at the moment, Mexico are leading by 2-1 in this isolated Chukka. Could also be that Avatar have slightly taken the foot off the accelerator here, because once again, they have possession and they're going towards that south end of the field, towards that Avatar goal mouth. Gracida stops and turns. Who will he play it to? Little flick of the wrist there, intercepted. At least he tried. Man with the number 2, Crowder, and found Gonzalez, but Crowder read it really well. Jason Crowder. Nice little backhand there from Gonzalez, but only as far as Alejandro Novillo Estrada, weaving his way through 3 defending players here from Mexico. Here comes the shot. Gracida now will pick this one up if he can, but he had too much pace and a little bit of luck there. Gets the ball literally given back to him, and he takes a shot, just puts it wide on the far post. And that will bring us to the end of Chukka number 5. So 11 goals to 5. Let's see if Mexico can pick up 6 goals in the 6th Chukka. Okay then, here we go. Chucker number 6 about to start. 7:30 on the clock, and I'm pretty sure we will see the full dozen by Avatar, who after that initial, or that first chucker in which wasn't quite sure which way this was going to go, they very much took control. And ever since chucker number 2, where they scored 3 goals, chucker number 4, 2 goals, chucker number 4, 4 goals, just the one in chucker number 5, but I think that's due to the fact of that they wanted to preserve the horses a little bit. I think the team very much knew that the main job was done. So let's see how now chucker 6 pans out here for Team Mexico, who, as I say, have a huge task to try and pick up 6 goals in 7.5 minutes. It's doable. It's not that it can't be done, but I'm pretty sure Avatar will not only capitalize and use that to their advantage, that they've got 6 goals to their advantage, and of course will try and get possession as much as they can to run the clock down. And like here, for example, given an opportunity to steal the ball, that's exactly what they're going to do. What a cracking good play here in front of goal. You just cannot relax. Very nice little play there by Ryan Cronin. And away we go over on the far side. Colo Gonzalez up against Mr. Mannix. Still Colo trying to control the ball. Everybody moving up over that halfway line, coming through the middle. Andres Gonzalez out to the side. Still Gonzalez. Has he found the passage? Well, looks like things are getting a little bit heated under the collar there. But the ball was definitely not through. Now the whistle will stop the clock. And one player just dismounting there. Players seem to be in discussion as to exactly what occurred there just a few seconds ago. Gaston Dorniak sticking to his decision. And it's going to be a standard knock-in coming for Avatar, and Alejandro Navijo Estrada will do the honours. Straight down the middle. Call for a back shot. Nicely done there by Santos Bellini. And Gonzalez will try and go around the outside if he can. He'll try and beat Navijo Estrada. Now, did that go through? Very difficult angle to see from here. But yes, the hand is raised. What a cracking goal there by Colo Gonzalez. Making it 6 now for Mexico. But the clock has no mercy. It keeps ticking down, and Avatar know that. 5:24 and counting as they make their way back to the halfway line. Ball's in play. Near side forehand shot, and you don't want to give that man the ball. He will punish you. Gonzalez is right behind him. Alejandro, he put a touch. Ryan Cronin to finish it. Oh, a dead ball in front of goal. In comes Gonzalez. Let's see if he can clear it. He's got to be quick about it. Alejandro comes back. You don't want to fumble it now. He needs to allow a little bit of space. He does. But again, they're just not able to clear it. There is the backhand from Crowder. Extended by Mannix. Back out to the boards to Crowder. Alejandro was still, of course, there. In comes Grisida. This is all costing valuable time. Gonzalez now, what can he do with this? Let's have a look at the clock. 4.5 minutes remain here in chucker number 6. They untangle each other. Alejandro just wants to keep possession. Nice little touch there from Mannix. Back up to Alejandro. Tries to lay this one up nicely for Ryan Cronin if he can get a piece of this. But it's cleared. Oh, the under the neck, he nearly got a piece of it. Because that pass or that ball from Gosida to try and clear it did not go anywhere near where he wanted it to. And that will take us over to our final courtesy change. Stay with us. We still have a little over 3.5 minutes remaining here in the sixth chukka. I don't think so. Did it? Oh, they scored? Thank you. Okay, well, I've just been told that they did score. Ryan Cronin did make the score. Well done, Ryan, and that is the dozen I was talking about. So 12 goals to 6. Here we go. Ball's back in play. 3.5 minutes remaining. Avatar on their way to Sunday's final. Just a quick reminder, Sunday 10 o'clock will be the final of the Casablanca Spring Challenge 2026. And the Maltese Falcons, who I'm sure have been watching this game very closely, well, they know what they're up against. Would be nice to see Mexico finish on a high, finish strong, because they, of course, will be playing grand champions for the subsidiary final, which will be taking place right after the final on Sunday. And as I say, that'll all be kicking off Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. Still trying to battle it out over on the far side. Mannix leaves this one behind. Yeah, Alejandro Navijo Estrada not happy with that. The umpire says play on. Well, he's got the advantage. And away we go. This could be a run in the making here for Mexico. Left now for Carlitos Gracida. Under 2 minutes remain. Over on the far side, Gonzalez, Andreas. What can he do with this ball? He's got a bit of space, but he needs to get past Crowder, and that is by no means an easy feat to do. Well done, Gonzalez. But it's cleared. Back to the boards. Possession for Avatar. Let's look at the clock. 1:24 on the scoreboard. Yeah, a little bit of a congestion over there on the far side. We'll stop the clock with 1:21. 12 goals to 6. And 1:21 remaining. So, just a quick recap. Tomorrow, the PTF, the Polo Training Foundation, continues with the Jim and Newman Memorial. That's going to be happening at 11 o'clock. And then tomorrow afternoon, here at Grand Champions Polo Club, the Governor's Cup. Very much looking forward to that. And then on Sunday morning, the final and the subsidiary final of this, the Casablanca Spring Challenge 2026, getting the spring season underway here. And what a cracking tournament it's already turning out to be here. 2026. Gonzalez, the man who came in for Juan Bellini, sends that just slightly wide. And I'm sure this will be the last run of this semi-final. And maybe a chance here. He picked up a cracking goal. He might get another one. Unlucky there, Ryan Cronin. But a great performance by the one goaler. There's the horn. And I'm pretty sure they're going to call it a game. Well done. Congratulations, Avatar. Convincing here with 12 goals to 6. Advanced through to the final. So well done, Ryan Cronin, Jason Crowder. And 100 of Asia Estrada for me, man of the match. Fred Mannix, of course, with the number 4, also got things going in that opening chuck-up. Commiserations. Wasn't their day for Mexico, but nonetheless, great performance. They fought to the very end with true Mexican spirit. Well done, Andres Gonzalez, Santos Bellini, Carlitos Cressida, Juan Bellini, who we very much hope is not injured and will be able to maybe play in the subsidiary final on Sunday. And then, of course, Colo Gonzalez, thank you very much for jumping in. Thank you also to our mounted official, Gaston Dorignac, to the entire crew here from CTV Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the beginning of your weekend this Friday evening, and make sure you tune in again tomorrow for the PTF and for the Governor's Cup. From all of us here, wishing you a very, very blessed and pleasant weekend.